The Nerf Rival series features some of the most powerful blasters that anyone can buy, and their selection is so vast that there's something for everyone. With xshot stepping up to the plate with their own version of Nerf Rival, we have to ask ourselves, is there a point to this? Did the xshot Chaos, Orbit, and Meteor need to be created, and are they good enough to replace our Nerf Rival blasters? We know money doesn't grow on trees, and it's my goal in this video to let you know if the xshot Chaos series is worthy of yours. However, ironically, I did receive these blasters for free as part of xshot's influencer program. They also sent me these exclusive gold versions of the Orbit and Meteor, which are so shiny, as well as an exclusive unique legit bread packaged Orbit. Wow, I have my own blaster, look at that. It truly feels special to see a company go the extra mile to really show the care and attention to their creators. But despite this kindness, I'm going to try to be as impartial as possible to give you the honest truth. And truthfully, both of these blasters are some of the most aesthetically pleasing blasters that xshot has ever made. Super clean and super sharp, they have that Nerf Rival quality look to them. Also, xshot continues their ammo generosity trend as both blasters are packaged with double the amount of ammo needed. Not only that, they come packaged with a ridiculous amount of stickers to customize their looks. xshot's new foam rounds are practically identical to Nerf Rival rounds for like half the price. These are high quality rounds and work in Nerf Rival blasters as well. Let's first talk about the xshot Chaos Orbit, a 14 round internally fed magazine shotgun blaster. Right off the bat, this is a blaster that doesn't have a Nerf Rival equivalent. To use this blaster, pull back the spring lever all the way, load up to 14 rounds in the internal magazine, press the spring release button, pull back and push forward the priming grip, and pull the trigger to fire. I'm a sucker when it comes to shotgun priming blasters, and this one delivers from an end user standpoint. The prime is buttery smooth, however I do wish they had more of this curve at the back of the grip like they do at the front. With the type of plastic that's used and the lack of texturing on the grip, sometimes you might find your hand sliding off the grip as you prime this blaster. But this can be bypassed if you grip it more to the front. This blaster has a stock, but with the way the Orbit is designed, it's much too stubby to actually use to stabilize your shot. This doesn't look cool, it doesn't feel cool. This stock would be more of an issue if the blaster had a heavier prime or if it was heavy in general, but that isn't the case. The Orbit is very lightweight with little dead space, making it very easy to weave in and out of close quarters. xshot's new internal magazine loading system on the Orbit and the Meteor set themselves apart from Nerf in both positive and negative ways. The location of the internal mag on the Orbit makes for very convenient, really quick reloading of the blaster when needed. It's fairly easy to wiggle in multiple rounds at once. And with this type of internal mag, you can see how much ammo you have left. I wish the spring lever would have more surface area to it, which would make whipping it back into position even faster. When using the spring lever, with this tiny nub, sometimes it's easy to lose grip of it. Another thing that trips me up often is forgetting to press the spring release button after reloading. Pushing the button is necessary to properly chamber the rounds. Visually, it's easier to miss this step when the blaster is fully loaded compared to when there's just a few rounds in it. Now let's quickly talk about the Meteor, smashing onto the scene as the blaster made to compete with Nerf's rival Chronos. The Chronos, released in 2018, is one of the most beloved compact Nerf blasters out there, so let's see how the Meteor stacks up to it. The Meteor is a 6-round internal magazine pistol. To use the blaster, pull back the spring lever all the way down, load up to 6 rounds in the internal magazine, press the spring release button, pull back and push forward the priming handle, and pull the trigger to fire. The prime is slightly heavy, it's definitely not as smooth as the Chronos or the Orbit, and same problem as the Orbit, this grip doesn't have enough grip. In future iterations, xshot should focus a little more on ergonomic grips, but I don't have any complaints about the handle or trigger, they did a great job with that. If you're enjoying the video so far, consider subscribing, it's free and takes only 2 seconds to do. This is a small and lightweight blaster that is almost identical in size to the Nerf Rival Chronos, except for the magazine portion of it. The internal mag is essentially a smaller version of the one seen in the Orbit, and therefore it has very similar pros and cons. This spring lever needs more surface area as well, it's very tiny. And overall there's more of a learning curve / room for error with this type of loading mechanism. Unlike the Orbit, the Meteor has to be reloaded from the bottom, which makes reloading a little more complicated. But with practice with both of these systems, reloading will become more natural and quick. Let's talk about how these xshot Chaos Blasters perform. Do they hold their own against Nerf Rival? Yes, they do. From my testing, both blasters are getting accuracy and range that are similar or on par with Nerf Rival blasters. That essentially means from shoulder height, you're getting fairly straight shots that go at least 40 feet. And the Meteor and Orbit are compatible with all major brand round ammunition, including Nerf Rival rounds. Another thing to note, neither of these blasters have slam fire. It's really a shame because I'm quite certain that my sample Orbit is defective. At least 1 out of 14 shots is a dud, and that's really disappointing. I did some internet research and it seems like this problem is only for me and not all Orbits out there. Assuming that's the case, then I don't have any issues with the performance of the Orbit. At least I still got that golden Orbit and that legitbread Orbit too. Throughout my testing, I only ever experienced slight jams if I accidentally loaded too many rounds into a blaster, and even when that happened, I never had to use the built-in jam doors. All I had to do to clear it was just pull the trigger. Now, with all this information, let's figure out if the Orbit and Meteor needed to be created and whether they're worth giving up Nerf Rival for. The Orbit fits that niche of an internally fed shotgun ball blaster. It has a decent sized ammo capacity, and being able to top it up quickly makes it a very viable option for on-the-go reloading for Nerf wars. So this blaster adds value to the available options out there for consumers, and I'm glad it was created. But does this mean you should give up your Nerf internal mag shotgun blasters like a Hades or Artemis for the Orbit? Probably not. Subjectively, these are far superior blasters than the Orbit, and if you already have them in your collection, you probably don't need to buy one. But there is still reason for someone who's been in the Nerf hobby for a while to still pick up an Orbit because number one, there isn't necessarily a Nerf equivalent to the Orbit, and number two, it is substantially cheaper than either of these Nerf options. And for a newcomer who doesn't own anything and is just looking for an entry-level blaster, the Orbit could be a better option compared to the Nerf ones out there. The Meteor adds to the list of various companies all trying to make a better Nerf Rival Chronos. The Meteor retails for $13 USD, which is $2 cheaper than the Nerf Rival Chronos. It has an extra round capacity, and it also comes with 7 more rounds than the Chronos. Personally, I still would rather pick up my Chronos than my Meteor just because its loading mechanism is much more straightforward and less prone to human error. But that's just me. I could still see why someone may prefer the internal mag system of the Meteor over the Chronos instead. The Meteor gives another buying option to a different style of compact pistol at an extremely low price. It's nice that a blaster like this exists, and it may be the preferred option compared to a Chronos. Some Nerf products are so strange that no one asked for them, and you'll be surprised by these 10 products available in this video right here. Click the card in the top right to see my most viral Nerf videos. Thank you xshot, and thank you for watching.